All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Monday Motivation. I hope you're having a great time. Happy November! It is November. Can you believe it? The holidays are right around the corner, and before you know it, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about how to be successful getting through the holidays. That's what we're going to be talking about because, believe it or not, it is possible. Last year, quite a few of my clients were very successful getting through the holidays, even losing weight getting through the holidays. So just know that that's the new paradigm that I want you to develop. It's not, oh, I'm just going to give up and pick up the beginning of the year. Is I'm going to continue to get results going through the holidays, which is possible. But I get ahead of myself. Today, I'm going to tackle one of your most important questions. One of the questions I get asked most frequently over the years. You're asking that question right now, some of you. Why am I not losing weight? I just had that question this week. And I know, it's a very frustrating thing when you're doing everything you're supposed to do and the scale just isn't moving. And a week turns into 2 weeks, turns into 3 weeks, turns into a month, and the scale just isn't moving. And yes, I know, it's a very frustrating thing. It's a frustrating place to be. But just know that how you deal with the issue is the issue. How you deal with the fact that the scale isn't moving is the issue, because that is what will determine your future success or failure. How you deal when you come to these points. And I just got to tell you that, I have had clients on plateaus for 2-3 months without losing a pound. And then all of a sudden, 5 pounds later, my body's changing, I'm losing weight. Yeah, why? They didn't give up on themselves. They didn't throw in the towel, this isn't working, this isn't for me. They kept moving forward. They kept moving forward. And why is that important? Because the only way to fail is to give up. That is the only way to fail, is to give up. Is to let your frustration get the best of you and you give up out of frustration. Oh, this isn't working. And you say this isn't working because you're focused on the scale, right? You see the difference there? Believe me, I get it. It is frustrating because your goal is to lose weight. Your goal isn't to be at the same weight. And you want to see the scale moving. Yes, when you see the scale moving, it's a bit more motivating. But you have to realize that some of you are slow losers. That's just the way it goes. Some bodies are slow losers. Some bodies will lose weight fast. I've got a bunch of clients who have lost 30, 40 pounds over the past 3 months. I've got a bunch of clients who have lost maybe 5, 10 pounds over the past 3 months. So you see, everybody is different. And what works for one person isn't going to work the same way for another person. Does it mean that it doesn't work? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that your body is different. Your physiology is different. And what's going on the inside is very different. And that's what you have to realize. So before you succumb to the temptation to try the latest hack and the latest gimmick and to switch strategies because, hey, this eating the right foods in the right amounts at the right time, planning your tomorrow today strategy isn't working for me. I'm going to go back to intermittent fasting because I've lost a lot of weight in the past with intermittent fasting. Question is, why aren't you doing intermittent fasting right now? Why did you regain that weight in the first place? There's a reason why you regained that weight. There's a reason why you're not using the same strategy, because you weren't able to maintain it. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life, right? If you have the right strategy, you'll be able to maintain your results over the long term, no matter what, because your weight is a matter of habit, right? habits is what allow you to maintain your results over the long term. So if you can't maintain the habits that got you the result, then those are not long-term habits. So you got to develop long-term habits. And what we're doing here is very simple. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you're going through. It doesn't matter what shows up in the future health-wise. Guess what? Still very simple. Eating the right foods. The right foods are just natural, unprocessed foods. That's going to help you with any health issue. It's going to help any health issue get better. So you can always eat the right foods, right? It doesn't matter what you're going through, what medical treatment you're going through, you will always need to eat the right foods, natural, unprocessed foods. So this is a process you can maintain over the long term, no matter what. Right? It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if you're in the hospital for a month or a year. This is how you want to be eating. Doesn't matter if you're making great progress. This is how you want to be eating. Doesn't matter if you're not making any progress at all. This is how you want to be eating. Why? You're creating changes from the inside out. You're creating cellular adaptation. You're creating physiological adaptation. And I guarantee you, you stay the course over time, it will work for you. Because there is no other choice. There is no way it can't not work for you. I hope you really understand that. So let's talk about some of the reasons why you may not be losing weight. Number one, you've lost weight in the past. You've lost a lot of weight in the past. That's one of the biggest reasons why some people become slow losers. If you've lost a lot of weight in the past, well, guess what? Your body's very guarded, right? Because think about it. You lose, I've had clients tell me, oh, yes, well, I've lost 100 pounds twice before. That's new clients. When they come here, the majority of my clients, by the time they get to me, they've already lost and regained weight many times over the years, over the decades. And that puts your body in a very precarious position to be very guarded. Why? Because you've triggered your brain to now be on the alert to protect your body from the loss of its energy source, right? Think about this. I keep using this analogy. When you lose 20 pounds equates to about 80,000 units of energy to your body. 80,000 units of energy. That's a lot of energy. That's like you waking up in the morning and $80,000 gone from your investment account. So you'll be freaking out. So imagine your body's freaking out. You lose 20 pounds in a month. Actually, I just had a client told me that he lost almost 20 pounds in a month. Well, guess what? That's one of the reasons why your body becomes very guarded. You lose 80 pounds and regain it, your body becomes very guarded. And you most likely become a slow loser. And you need to understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's that your body's very guarded because your brain has been triggered to protect against weight loss. Right? You lose a lot of weight and regain it. Your brain has been triggered to protect against weight loss because the reason why you regain that much weight is because you lost it too soon, probably, and your brain then forced you to regain it by slowing down your metabolism, increasing your appetite, and slowing down your hormones, right? Your feeling full hormones, ramping up your appetite hormone, right? So those are all the things that you need to think about. That, right? Weight gain is an hormone imbalance situation. It's not about calories in and calories out. It's about your hormones. Your hormones are now imbalanced. Your hormones are out of whack. So you need to understand the process that we're using here. I explain this to all my new clients in our onboarding, that our process is first and foremost to balance your hormones. When you balance each meal, you're balancing your blood sugar. When you balance your blood sugar, that keeps your insulin stable. Because insulin goes up when blood sugar goes up, insulin goes down and blood sugar goes down. You're keeping your insulin stable. You keep your insulin stable over time. That keeps the rest of your hormones stable. And guess what? Insulin systems start to work better. When it starts to work better, guess what? All your other hormones start to function better as well. Your thyroid, glucagon, ghrelin, leptin, they all start to function better. This is the process. This is what happens. Over time, that blood sugar starts to drop. That is how we create healthier blood sugar. That is why my clients will often say, hey, I've got clients whose blood sugar goes from 13 down to 9, from 9 down to 6, from 6 down to the 5. So they're now non-diabetic. I've seen that quite a few times. I've had clients who say, hey, my blood sugar is the lowest it's been in 8 years. Why do you think that is? You keep balancing those meals. You keep cutting the time down between meals. You're balancing your hormones. Your hormones start functioning better. As they start functioning better, your body starts to do what it's doing better. This is the process, guys. This is the process of changing your physiology. This is not about calories in, calories out. This is about changing your physiology. This is about working with your hormone imbalances. That is what overweight and obesity is, a question of hormone imbalance. It's not about calories. It's not about exercise. It's about your hormones first and foremost. And you need to understand that your thyroid regulates your metabolism. And when your insulin system is out of whack, guess what? Your thyroid is out of whack. They all work together. And when your thyroid is out of whack, guess what? Your metabolism is just crawling along. And if your metabolism is crawling along, how can you expect fat burning? Fat burning isn't happening. So I'm trying to get you to understand that, our first job and what we're asking you to do here, eating the right foods is what you need to do, what you need to eat to balance your hormones, to create healthier hormones, to balance your blood sugar. All of this leads to greater insulin sensitivity and glucose tolerance. When you have greater insulin sensitivity and glucose tolerance, that is what leads to fat loss. So you need to understand that there's a whole lot of things involved. There's a whole lot going on in your body that leads to fat loss before fat loss can happen. Right? It's not a matter of just eating the right foods and thinking, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to lose weight. Well, there's a whole lot that has to happen internally before we get to fat loss. So your job is to focus on eating the right foods in the right amounts at the right time that will help you create greater insulin sensitivity and glucose tolerance, create healthier hormones, optimize your metabolism. This is what's going on, and that is what you need to focus on. Not the scale, because the scale doesn't tell you the full picture. The scale doesn't tell you anything at all, right? Weight loss is a consequence of lifestyle habits, right? So you need to understand that over the years, as you lose weight, your metabolism will slow down, and this makes it much harder to lose weight the next time. We call that metabolic compensation, right? The more weight you lose, the slower your metabolism. You lose 80, 100 pounds, you've got a very slow metabolism. You're worse off than when you were heavier. If you're not doing resistance training, you're actually fatter than when you were heavier. Because now you've got more fat on your body and less muscle tissue, because you're losing muscle tissue every time you lose weight. So you see all the things we have to deal with here, right? It's not as simple as you thought it was it? No, it's not. It's not as simple as just going on a diet and watch the scale move. Well, that is what is putting you now in this place of being a slow loser. Just know that all the times before that you've lose weight and regain it, that leads to you being a slow loser. Because the number one predictor of future weight gain is weight loss. The number one predictor of future weight gain is weight loss. If you're doing it wrong, if you're losing 20 pounds in a month, I guarantee that there's a higher probability of you gaining weight in the future. So when you're losing a half a pound to a pound a week, when you're losing 3 to 5 pounds a month, you should be thankful. Not pissed off. You should be thankful. Not pissed off, because then you're not triggering your brain to start working against you. Then you've got your biology working with you, not against you. You got to understand these things, right? Weight loss is about your hormones. It's not about your calories in, calories out. Now you have to think about other health issues. If you've got other health issues going on, then, this hyper focus on weight loss is misplaced. You need to be focusing on your other issues. If you've got kidney disease and heart disease and diabetes and your focus is solely on weight loss, well, your focus is misplaced. Because you got to create a healthier body before you can even worry about weight loss. Right? The weight loss will come. The weight loss is a function of habits. It's a consequence of lifestyle and habits. So that's what you want to focus on. Focus on creating better health. Focus on getting healthier, stronger, fitter, better. When you focus on getting healthier, stronger, fitter, better, I guarantee you cannot lose. You cannot lose. It is impossible for you to lose when you focus on getting healthier, stronger, fitter, better. Because a healthier, stronger, fitter body is a better fat-burning body in the long run. So in the long run, you are going to get better results, and you're going to be able to maintain those results, okay? Focus on consistency of habits. What are the habits you want to be consistent with? Well, you got to be balancing each meal. Every time you eat, you're balancing the carbs with the proteins and the fat. That is what keeps your blood sugar stable. That is what affects your hormones, create healthier hormones in the long term. Frequency of meals, right? You're going long periods without eating. Well, guess what? Your body's just crawling along. Your metabolism is shot to hell because your body's barely alive. Your body is barely awake. It's trying very hard not to burn calories when you're doing that. And then in the end, you end up spiking your blood sugar, which leads to insulin spike, which again leads to the very condition that you don't want. You see why we're asking you to do all these things? Water. We talked about the more water you drink, water leads to greater insulin sensitivity because it increases the function adiponectin, which controls insulin sensitivity in your body. So if you're chronically dehydrated, drinking 30, 40, 50 ounces of water a day, well, guess what? That affects your fat burning significantly. Why do you think we have you do all these things? Get moving. You start moving, well, get your body function better. Your digestion, your respiration, your circulation, everything works better. Why do you think I recommend 5 to 10K steps a day? Focus on how active you are, steps. If you're not active, we're not worried about exercise. We'll focus on you getting more active. Your sleep. Lack of sleep increases your cortisol, increases your insulin, reduces your fat burning. You see, all of these things are important, right? This is how they all connect together. So on my onboarding, I always tell you the number one mindset habit that you need to win is I will persist until I win. You need to focus on adopting the number one mindset habit of your future success. I will persist until I win, because the only way to fail is to quit. The only way to fail is to allow your frustration to get in the way and for you to give up on yourself and quit your journey. That is the only way to fail. If you focus on getting healthier, getting fitter, getting stronger, getting better, guess what? You can never go wrong. You will win. The weight will follow. Weight loss is a consequence of lifestyle habits. You focus on those lifestyle habits, I guarantee you will win. Because there is no other way, there is no other choice, and you need to adopt that mindset that there is no way for me not to win. There is no way for me not to get to my goal. It is impossible. Because your body will adopt, right? So don't focus on the weight, because when you focus on the weight, guess what? It leads to you being open to trying gimmicks and short-term hacks just to see the scale move. But is that what's going to help you in the long term? No, it's not. So, for all my slow losers out there, I want you to ask yourself this question, right? When the scale isn't moving, number one, get off the damn scale and focus on the habits that you're practicing. Number two, I want you to ask yourself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do, right? Some very important questions that you ask yourself every day that is responsible for your future success. When something happened, you ask yourself, well, what happened? Then you ask yourself, well, what does it mean? What does it mean that the scale isn't moving? Well, if it means that what I'm doing isn't working, then that takes you down one path. If it means that, hey, yes, things just aren't working for me to lose weight yet. My body isn't at the point where it can drop weight yet because it's still guarded and my physiology is still in process. I'm creating changes to my physiology that will lead to that weight loss. And all I need to do is to stay the course, focus on the habits that I'm practicing. So what am I going to do? I am going to focus on the habits that I'm practicing. Or what am I going to do? Oh, this strategy, eating the right foods in the right amounts at the right time, planning your tomorrow today isn't working. I'm going to switch strategy. I'm going to go back to intermittent fasting because I was able to lose 20 pounds in a month with intermittent fasting. All right, well, you can do that. But I guarantee that you'll probably be right back where you started again because there was a reason why you lost the weight and regained it in the first place. You couldn't maintain the strategy you used. You weren't effecting the necessary changes in your physiology. For your results to be long-term, you must create physiological adaptation. You must change your body from the inside out. You must change your physiology. You must change your very biology. That is the only way your results can be long-term. That is the only way you can lose 30, 50, 100 pounds and maintain it long-term. So just understand that. I mean, one of the other ways is you got to become a freaking different person, period. Right? A person with different mindset, habits, and behaviors. The person who can lose 50, 100 pounds and maintain it long-term is a very different person than the person you are now. I guarantee it. Remember, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've had clients who have lost and maintained a lot of weight 10, 15, 20, 25 years. So I know what it takes to do that, and primarily it's your mindset habits. So the number one mindset habit of your future success is, I will persist until I win. I will persist until I win, because there is no other way. And when you're eating the right foods in the right amounts at the right time and planning your tomorrow today, planning ahead, guess what? That is a recipe for your future success. Because it's simple. It's something you can maintain over time, no matter what's going on, no matter where you are. That is the lifestyle that you're creating. These are the habits, my friends, of your future self and your future success. So stay the course. Ask yourself, what am I going to do? What can I do to make this process move along a little faster? What can I do? Remember, it's always something that you're going to do. So ask yourself, what can I do? Instead of focusing on the frustration, yes, I know it is frustrating as hell. I know that. You're going to be frustrated. I told you that from day one in our onboard. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to face big obstacles, and the scale not moving is one of those big obstacles. But what you do with those obstacles is what determines your success or failure. You let those obstacles stop you, well, you're done. You find a way through those obstacles, well, guess what? There is no way for you not to win. I hope this has been helpful. Talk soon.